Welcome. How you guys doing today? I hope all is well. I am HP Marlana and I'm here with Graceful Healing Intuitive Tarot, Graceful Healing Retreat. I'm here to bring forth messages for you in regards to your dreaming, lucid dreaming, dream interpretations. If you are live with me, I'll be happy to help you with the dream interpretations. We're going to talk about some of the reasons why we dream, some of the meanings behind some very popular reoccurring dreams that you will see around, what most people actually dream about. A lot of people dream about certain things as, animals or, being naked in a crowded room. You can have so many different dreams and there's so many different dream interpretations. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the benefits of dreaming, lucid dreaming, having to take that time out to actually get into your subconscious mind in a way that actually can benefit your life. There are a lot of different studies out on dreaming, from a metaphysical perspective. Scientists are still kind of, not quite sure what's going on regarding the dreaming and what you really can do regarding dreaming. Then there's the religious aspect of dreaming and whether or not, that's something that you should play with, kind of thing. You'll be surprised that you'll even see dreaming in the Bible even. Hello, how you doing? You'll be surprised that you'll actually see different dreams and visions spoke of in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. You'll be surprised to even learn that dream interpretation books have started back so far as at least 3000 BC, in Egyptian culture, then moving on to the ancient Egyptian times and ancient Greek times on moving forward. But one of the things that stumped me was the aspect of dreaming as it pertains to the Western culture and why it's not as obvious that it's okay to dream or even get understandings of dreams. Hey, been having crazy dreams the past 2 weeks, so I am excited for this. Well, I would look forward. Just know that I'm here to answer any questions you have in regards to your dreaming as well, the interpretations. I've been dreaming crazy too, FYI. I've had all kinds of crazy dreams. So please go ahead and put your dream there and then I'll read it and see if I can assist you with it. But let me also say that I truly believe that each dream, even if we both dreamt the same thing, like perhaps we dreamt about snakes or perhaps we dreamt about a dog or something like that, know that the meanings are going to be different in my life versus your life. These symbols come up for a reason, and it's tagged to an emotional unconscious state or conscious state of mind. So I love the whole dreaming. I love the lucid dreaming. I love being able to recognize when I'm in a dream state, when I'm actually dreaming, knowing that like I'm up in my dream. That's crazy, right? I also have woken out of dreams feared, like scared, like full of fear and so upset, like if I saw a snake or something, and being so scared of the snake, like literally waking up in my room, looking around to see if there's a snake in my bedroom, because that's how close and how scared it made me. One was about being kidnapped, and then I woke up and there was a lady on my TV. Now, I must say, I am very conscious of when I'm dreaming as well. And when you're dreaming and the television's on, you'll be surprised that, that comes in through your dream. You're hearing that during your dream as well. One of the things I was going to tell you guys about today is tapping into your lucid dreaming and being able to lucid dream. The way in which you can do this is by reminding yourself during the day. One of the techniques is to remind yourself during the day. For instance, say, am I awake? Am I awake throughout the day? Now, this is a technique from one of the books that I've read where it was talking about, you saying at least 10 times a day throughout the day in your conscious state, am I awake? Am I awake? And then that would translate over into your dream state to where you can then trigger yourself in your dream state. One thing you can also do is create a sound that happens while you're asleep, so you recognize again, oh, I must be dreaming, and now I'm recognizing I'm dreaming in my dream state. Therefore, now it turns the dream from all these different symbols that you may not be able to truly understand at that moment, to now you can recognize it as, oh, okay, now I'm in my dream state. Now I can do things. I can maneuver. Edgar Cayce, I went to his school in Virginia Beach. He has a school for healing. He also has a meditation room out there. I never heard about it until last year, and I was so surprised because I took a class, a mediumship, advanced mediumship course, kind of. I don't even want to call it a class because it wasn't really like a class. It was where a group of like over 50 some odd people came together with very well-known mediums, and they taught us or showed us different techniques to better our mediumship capabilities, so we actually could have a better understanding of how we work our, medium, the medium, that medium state of mind. So it was awesome. So anyway, at the Edgar Cayce school, they talked about the dream interpretation as well. And you have all sorts of books from Edgar Cayce. But what Edgar Cayce used to do was he would actually go into a dream state. And he would go into a dream state and then go to the Akashic records and then bring forth information that way. So again, kind of using that subconscious, unconscious mind frame in order to dig up new information about your conscious state. What do we have going on here? An actual ladybug TV when I woke up. You said, and hold up. You said, oh, was sitting on my TV when I woke up. An actual ladybug was sitting on my TV when I woke up. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, to me, again, like I said, I really feel as though, if you're listening to the TV while you're asleep, a lot of times you're going to see some of those same things. Now, it may not be exact, come in through your dream. It's like coming in through your subconscious. So even if you have the TV on, that's why I try purposefully not to really have the TV on, especially when I'm trying to remember a dream, because sometimes I may wake up and say, was that the TV or was that the dream? And because, in your dream, you're getting symbols that are going to help you in your waking life. It may not be specific. So let me give you an example. So I've had specific dreams where, for instance, you may have dogs in your dream or something like that. Like just literally a couple of days ago, I had like a black dog, a white dog. There were two. And they were pit bulls, and the black dog kept playing with me and just wouldn't leave me alone. And then there was a white dog there too that was there as well. So, but both of them were there. Now, I've had multiple dreams about pets or dogs. Now, granted, I have a dog of my own, but I have a little poodle. I've even seen my poodle in my dreams, like, doing little things that, I'm like, nah, good and well, you're not allowed to do that. Like, for instance, my poodle's not allowed to cross the threshold in the kitchen, or he's not allowed to cross the threshold in certain rooms in my house that we've taught him over the years. So in the actual dream, he would come to me in the dream and actually, cross the threshold of these certain areas. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, for real? Like, I knew, like, this has to be a dream. So there are certain ways you can, in your lucid dreaming, actually connect with other people. I see people in my dream all the time. I will get messages from some of my best of friends through my dreaming. Like one day I woke up and I had all this dream about one of my girlfriends and her getting on a boat, and me and her was on this guy's boat, and we were just having a good time. And then we were headed up the mountain to this party and all kinds of stuff. And when I woke up, I called and I was like, girl, I had this dream about so-and-so, and we were on this boat and we was getting ready to go to this party, this, that, and the other. And she was like, so did I tell you about this guy that I met with this boat, and we're going to this party, and we were in two different states at the time. Like literally I was in like New Orleans or something, and she was back here at home in the Maryland, DC area. And she was like, I didn't tell you about that. And I was like, no, you didn't tell me. But she was like, you sure? Because what you said was very vivid. So, all of that to say, I must say, you get messages. You can get messages to your friends. I believe that we're connected on a subconscious level. Carl Jung also believed that we all have this connection. Even Edgar Cayce recognized that we all have this divine consciousness connection, that someone in one country can basically have a similar dream to someone in another country, but the only difference is maybe some of the counterparts within the dreams may be a little different based on their understanding of that. I hope that makes sense. But I did want to bring to you guys some basic. I wrote down a few things here because as we're talking, please feel free to bring forth your messages as well if you have any dreams. You know, hello Strobe. I don't know if that's Liv or not, but I must tell you, I also had a dream with you in it too. A couple of them, you know, with you teaching. So if this is you, I'm just telling you, I seen it. Okay. But you know, I have dreams of all kinds of people in my life in general. And so I did want to bring that to your attention. I personally am at least a 5th generation intuit, a medium, psychic. I you know, have tarot cards. I do readings on YouTube. I do readings worldwide for different people of all, you know, types of backgrounds. My specialty is with the divine feminine, but I give readings to all. So, I mean, I'm already kind of tapped into that unconscious side of my being anyway, but the dreams kind of bring a lot of it forward even when I'm not ready, or even some of my fears forward even when I'm not totally ready. Like I can even say, you know, when it's come to like my mediumship capabilities, you know, when I realized I had one dream that kicked it off, okay? It was one dream that literally kicked it off, and I was like, okay, so this gift is coming now too. And it's not that I hadn't had it's not that I had not been in interaction with spirits on this realm already. I had people come to me and come through me with messages for others, but I just wasn't really trying to delve into that because the underlying fear associated with it, and also from my religious background, it was all, I always had to take baby steps, kind of coming full circle into my capabilities, into the strength that is my gifts. I started off small with like maybe Reiki healing and with small things, right? I bought a deck of cards like probably like 15 years ago. My first, you know, my first oracle. Actually, I bought my first tarot deck like over 15 years ago. And then I didn't get my first oracle deck until like a few years after that. So it took me a while to kind of come out. And even last year, I had not come out to really my family and friends until like literally last year when I was at the Edgar Cayce spot in Virginia Beach. And I went live on Facebook and sent some information. No, I went live on YouTube and posted my live from YouTube on Facebook and let people know, like, look, I can't believe this is going on, because I was so shocked. I said, I've been going to Virginia Beach for 30 some odd years and never knew this was here. And I was so pissed that I had been in a religious setting for so long and I had not known about basic things as it pertained to, you know, my spiritual gifts. And why isn't it encouraged? Why has it been demonized for so long? And I was pissed. Guys don't understand. I was PO'd. You said I took the plunge and got my first deck this week. Oh, good for you. Wow. I want to continue with my story, and I'll come back to my story. I do want to also say, you know, it was a few people that's been around me, and after talking to them or them following me on my channel for a while, they got their own deck as well. What I do want to say is, no matter what you do, always remain protected, always stay in prayer, always do what you need to do in order to stay balanced. Because the fear can creep in one way or another if you're not comfortable with getting rid of certain spiritual entities, you know, maybe not having certain crystals around you for protection. I think I told you guys the story before when I got my first smoky quartz. It was back in college, and I just happened to work for a jewelry store, and I was just drawn to smoky quartz, not realizing the protection it gave me, not realizing the protection it gives in general. You said, I've been asked, can you be religious, believe in God and spiritual? Yes. How do you feel? Yes, I do. Absolutely. First of all, I believe my spirit guides are a part of God. First of all, this is the way I look at everything. I look at everything from the perspective that the base of it all is we're all connected. We're all one. We're all connected. And then a level up from that, you have these split offs from different things. You have different levels of, and it could be this way, I'm just doing it from this perspective because this is what I'm just thinking of right now. But the point is we're all connected. And then we have all these different levels as we go, right? And these are different spiritual insights as we go, meaning you have your ancestors, you have gods, you have different levels of spiritual beings, so many different levels. And personally, I always felt like your spirit is all part of God. God is number one, right? God is number one, the highest God. In some books, they talk about it as being like the highest God. Yes. And then you also have your highest being within you, your spirit, your soul, which is connected to God. Like, so I don't know if you're familiar, but I also have a deck that I'm creating and also a book that I'm finishing up with the deck that's called I Am God. Now, a lot of people may be pissed about me saying that, but the only reason why I say it is because we have God within all of us. We all have God in us. All of us have a spirit, a soul within all of us. So therefore, if we are in the image of God, then God is within us. Therefore, we are God too. Therefore, you are as powerful. Even in the Bible, Jesus said we will have as many or more gifts as he did. Now, if he could raise the dead, if he can have the blind man see, if he could ... you see what I'm saying, turn water into wine, why are we so limited? So the only reason why, I get pissed off when I'm limited is because I realize that we're learning about all these beautiful things. Prayer, to me, I believe prayer, chanting, mantras, all of them are the same things. I started to put two and two together when I realized like I had family members, very prominent religious family members that would pray up something. And I'm telling you guys, I'm talking about pray up something. And to me, it sounded like a chant. To me, it sounded like borderline a spell, And I was like, how different is that than what we've been doing anyway? You said exactly. I speak to myself as a pod, and refer to God as God. Yes, absolutely. So I personally, I believe that, we all are connected, period. Like, so if we're all connected, and also when it comes to the religious aspect of it, I also believe that, if God is communicating with me, how is it that God can give you a message for me that I can't get myself? Like, I don't need a middleman. Like, I don't need a middleman to tell me what God told you. I understand that can be helpful, to be honest. It can absolutely be helpful, especially when you're on your journey. But I do not believe that you or one person is the only person that can help you on your spiritual journey. And if you can hear from God, I can hear from God too. And if God is telling me one thing and telling you another, I'm going to listen to God, not you. So when I speak to my spirit guides, when I speak to God, when I speak to the head God, all of these great things. Hold up, I see a message. I can't wait to purchase. Oh, well, I can't wait. I can't wait to get it out. It's so powerful because if the point is, if we all have this connection to God, and this is why I'm a proponent of telling people you are as intuitive, you are as discerning. I mean, whatever word you want to use to speak to your psychic capabilities, to speak to the mediumship capabilities. Like, for instance, my daughter reached out to me a while ago. It was like the anniversary. It was around the Halloween time. We already know around Halloween time the veil gets thinner. And she was saying how she really felt her grandmother, like she had tears in her eyes. She just started to really miss her. And I was like, that's because she was around you. Again, if we can teach our youngsters, if we can understand what's going on the spiritual realm to a deeper level, then there's no need for fear. And I have a problem with fear. I have a problem with people using fear as a way to minimize you and keep you down, keep you distraught, keep you held back, does that make sense? So, and I feel like, unfortunately, in certain settings, in some religious settings as well, it's meant to keep you pigeonholed so you don't truly believe in yourself or truly believe in your power. It's like they want you to feel like you're powerless so you can be dependent upon them, and don't get me started with that, okay? So all of that to say, okay, I'm going to go back to my dream and me coming out, but... I hope that made sense to you. Okay. I hope that made sense. Good. So, to go back to when I finally came out, I mean, I was on the cusp for a while, afraid to come out to my family and friends, didn't want them to know, because we have ministers, deacons, all kinds of stuff in my family. And I was like, I don't know if I want people to know what I do. Literally on YouTube, have all these different followers, over 15,000 followers, and people right down the street had no idea what I was doing. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, good. They had no clue what I was doing because I was still battling with that. But when I started to realize that when I would go to festivals and I would do all of these different readings for different people, and a lot of women would come that look like me, and they would be looking for literally a message, and many times the messages would speak to them being powerful, them being guided, them having this guidance around them, and that they are knowing, and they were like, wow, I just needed to hear that. I just needed it validated, because I know I was getting visions. I know I have an understanding. But again, this fear due to religion and the way in which they were raised kept them in this place of fear to be able to really move towards their gifts, because they were afraid of the backlash, because it's been demonized for so long. Whew. Same with me. My uncle is a bishop. Yeah. Understood. I totally understand. And even if you don't have anybody in your family that is just going to be perpetuated to you just basically by going every Sunday. I mean, you don't even got to be a person that go every Sunday. You could be a person that go, 3 times a year, and you've been raised with the message that it's considered witchcraft for you to go beyond your beliefs and to go beyond what the Bible tells you. But if you read the Bible for oneself, you will see all sorts of things in the Bible, and you're like, well, why aren't they preaching this? Why is it the same messages being preached over and over and over again? You'll probably hear the same message being preached every year or a few times a year. And I'm like, but there's so many other books in the Bible that speaks to all these other things that you want to forget about or not talk about, whether it be, talking about a concubine, whether it be talking about the visions or the dreams, or all kinds of different things, the food that you're supposed to eat, all kinds of things that you will notice will be highlighted and other things won't be. Now, unless you read it for yourself, and then you'll realize there's a lot in there, and you're just like, well, why aren't we being taught this? So this was one of the reasons why I continue to go on my journey, because I felt like there's a lot that's not being said. I feel like someone's trying to guide me in a direction regarding my spirituality or regarding religion or my belief system, and they're not telling the whole truth of it all. They're leaving pieces out, and I was like, but how do I find those other pieces? And that's when I went searching for went on my own spiritual journey. Now, granted, I must say I had a dream. I must say I did have a dream, and actually I had a dream that my pastor said I was unclean, and said that it was like literally, it was almost like it was a very, very vivid dream, to where I woke up feeling like I was ashamed or something like that. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to church, and I'm gonna ask God. And I asked God, I said, God, give me a message. Give me a message today that I can understand, that's going to let me know whether or not I'm going on my correct path. And because I don't want to be, I don't want to be, I didn't want to do the wrong thing. And I was still in that place of help me. And I still am, honestly. I mean, my whole journey has been, God, help me do this, help me do that. And so when I went to church that day, it was a powerful message. I think I bought like 5 CDs and and I shared them amongst friends of mine, co-workers of mine, things of that nature. And that dream, and after that dream, I had another dream. After I went to church, first of all, the message was that you are powerful. You are, I think he said something to the fact that you have been deputized to be the most powerful you can be. You were like, it was like you're all powerful. It was just such a beautiful message. Now, I'm sure if he saw me today, he'd be like, that's not what I meant by that. That's not what I meant by that dream. Or by that message. But that's what I took from the message. When people listen to different messages, you're all going to get something out of it a little different than based on your own experience than others, may see. So all of that to say, I also, after that, I had a dream after that. And it was like my car was lost. I was in a church parking lot or something like that. and he was getting ready to leave, but for some reason he came in and then finally helped me find my car or something like that. It was something weird, and he came back in the church, and then he was kind to me. But it still wasn't like I'm on the same page you're on, but I'm not hating you right now. You're not, dirty anymore, in essence, And so that was a major pivotal point for me as I continued on my journey. I was looking for validation too, except I didn't go to necessarily a reader. I went to God, asked God to give me a message through my pastor, and that's how I got the validity that I'm okay. And so that's what I do on a regular basis. A lot of women may come to me, and especially, like I said, at festivals, things of that nature, and they may take me on as their spiritual coach, and I will walk them through that process to help them become more confident in their gifts, their capabilities, because a lot of times the issue is literally just being confident in your gifts and your capabilities. So the dreams have helped me in many ways as it pertains to that. Did you have another dream? I thought you said you had a couple dreams. I saw, let me know. But that was one of the many dreams I've had. I've had all kinds of dreams as it pertains to animals. I wrote a few of them out here in regards to just some very common dreams and some very common meanings for some of these dreams. Like there are 10 top dreams that most people have. It may be something in regards to flying. I remember my first flying dream. Have you guys ever had a flying dream where you were flying, like literally like just in the sky? Like I had my first dream like that I can probably recall or remember after I woke up. I think I was like a teenager or a child or something like that. And I was so giddy. I was so happy. I was like, wow, you could do this? I was so giddy. I'm telling you, I was so excited. And I was like, wow, I'm literally flying. Like I felt like a bird. I had my hands out, and I'm literally just flying, just having a ball. And by the time I came back to my being and woke up, I was like, wow, I was flying. And that's a type of lucid dreaming, When you want to lucid dreaming is when you can kind of be aware that you're dreaming and still enjoy that dream state and do whatever you want. If you can get more control over your lucid dreaming, you will be able to maneuver the way you want. You can maneuver and get information that you need. Like I said, when it came to Edgar Cayce would dream, go to the Akashic records, get information for people, and then bring it back to them and then give their reading like that. He would always go to the Akashic records, but he would also go into a dream state. I think they called him something like the dreaming prophet or something like that. They called him. But that's what he would do. He would go to sleep in order to go to the Akashic records to get that. I know a lot of mediums and readers who go directly to the Akashic records. I started going to the Akashic records early on in my path as well. When I heard about the Akashic records, I was like, okay, I want to go there. And I got information there as well. So if you're capable of lucid dreaming and you don't know how to get to the place you want to get in a conscious level, then lucid dreaming can assist you with that. So again, it's to help you get there. Of course, I must, plug some of the products that I have. We also have lucid dreaming tonic, and then we also have a lucid dreaming tea that can help you with that as well. Of course, it's about really getting you subconsciously to the place you need to be in order to obviously come back up and remember your dreams as well. So I also had it was interesting because not too long ago, I also had another dream where I literally was walking in my bedroom to my bathroom, and I thought I was up. I really thought I was up. Like that's how real it was. I really thought I was up about to get ready for work or something. And I was like, and I looked out my window and I was like, something doesn't look right. Like everything looked exactly like it looks in my bedroom. But when I looked out the window, something wasn't right. My car wasn't there. That's what triggered it for me. Because I was like, hold up. I know my car is parked right here. Oh, I said, I must be dreaming. Because I was like, I know somebody ain't take my car. And that's how I realized that I was there. So if you can practice the technique of, first of all, some people say they can't even remember their dreams. So let me help you with that. First and foremost, if you want to remember your dreams, one of the techniques I started using a long time ago was to specifically say before you go to sleep is, I want to remember my dream. It's that easy. It's literally that simple. I want to remember my dream, and saying that before you fall asleep. Now, again, you can use tonic, teas, whatever. Now, personally, I wake up multiple times throughout the night. I don't know if you guys wake up multiple times throughout the night, but I wake up multiple times. Like, I'll wake up, if I go to sleep early, like 6 or something, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I may wake up at like 9 or 10. But I may go to sleep around 8-ish and wake up at like 2-ish. A lot of times I'm up between the hours of like 2 and 3. Or even 4, 2 to 4, I'm up. And then I'll go back to sleep and I'll go deeper into my dream. So by the time I wake up to come out of my sleep for the entire day, I've had a more potent dream. So I keep a dream journal next to my bed. I look up the meanings of the symbols in my dream when I wake up because I want to know what it means. I used to believe, and this is what's been happening with me, I used to believe that every single thing that happened must be exactly what's happening now. What I've been learning over the last 5 to 10 years is that it's a symbol for something. It's like, for instance, one of my ex-husbands, I didn't know he bought a new car, and he was crazy, like, what? You saw what? Like, you know, I didn't know he bought a new car, but I saw him in a big white, almost like a stretched white Benz. Like, I was like, some big white Benz you were in, and it was a chick in there, but it was something wrong with the right side of the car. I was like you got in an accident or something. It was something kind of weird, but I said, I don't know, but I'm just calling you to let you know I saw you driving a Benz. He was like, I just bought a Benz truck, and he claimed he didn't know who that female was. I'm just saying. But he did say, but everything else a part of the dream, he said, I just put it in the car because something was wrong with the right side of it. And when he bought it, it was something wrong with like the right side corner, you know, something with the bumper. And he had just put it in the shop to get it fixed. So initially I was thinking, and in the car, and in the dream, it was a white Benz, but it was a white convertible Benz. But he has a white truck Benz, like it was a big vehicle. And I just saw it again not too long ago. And in that dream, it was like a gray Benz, like an older model Benz, but it was a gray Benz. And it was still, I know he has a Benz, I know he has a truck Benz, but it wasn't the exact same car. That's all I'm trying to bring to your attention. So you may see symbols. So yeah, it was a Benz. Yeah, it had an issue. Yeah, it was a female in it. And yes, it was a female in it. He ain't want to tell me. I'm just saying. He ain't got to lie. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. Like I said, this is one of my ex-husbands. I got 2. And so, but in the dream, I must say, it was like, wow. And when he confirmed it, it was to me like, oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm here to this next level. Same thing happened to me. Hello, how you doing? Same thing happened to me when I had a dream about, it was like I started to see, I'm about to say something very unique here. I mean, not so unique. I see dead people. I saw dead people in my dream. Like I've been in a dream where I've seen like a casket and I was burying the casket. I've had dreams, and one in particular, the one dream that I wanted to tell you about was the one where I saw like a woman. I was in a house. I was in a townhouse kind of, and there was a hole in it was a hole in the wall of the townhouse in the bathroom. And I went into the house. So it was a wall over here, but they had a door that went into the house. So I went to the house, up the stairs, and there was a bunch of ladies in there, and I was just talking to the ladies. We were having a good time. And then somehow we made our way back to the bathroom, and she was talking. We were having a good time. And she said something to me, and I looked to the left through the hole that was in the wall, and I saw her body laying there. But she was there talking to me in the mirror with me in the bathroom. And I was looking to the left, and I was looking at her, and I was looking to the left, and I looked back at her, and I was like, do you know that you're not alive? Like, do you know you're dead? And she's like, no, I'm not. And I was like, your body's over there. And she was shocked. And then she walked kind of towards her body. And I was like, okay, so this gift is starting to come into reality now. But again, this all came through my dream. So this is why I really feel like dreaming is so important, because you'll get all kinds of messages and symbols that's letting you know what path you're on your way to. And so once I walked out of that house that day, in the same dream now, I walked out of the house finally, and then I saw a whole bunch of people walking, and they were all people that were not alive. They were all spirits. And they were coming through the trees, and some of them had like head injuries. Some of them had, different issues, and they were all walking. And I'm just walking like, does anybody else see this? And I'm saying it in my dream. Does anybody else see this? Anybody else see this but me? And one guy got my attention, and I got his attention. And he looked at me like, it looked like he was studying them. Like he was studying the spirits. Like he was writing something down. He was watching them all. And then he looked at me, and I was like, oh, so you see him too. And then he ran because he was like, no, I don't. You don't come talk to me about this. I'm not here, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, ish. I was like, okay, here we go again. So, but all of it came through my dream. So that was one of the reasons, and one of the things that prompted me, after another incident, it prompted me to go ahead to this mediumship conference, because I felt like I wanted to get more so in control of that gift. Because actually right before that, I actually got overwhelmed by a spirit that was in my presence, and the spirit overwhelmed me because I was really trying to hold it back. I didn't want to say what was going on, that I knew what was going on, but I didn't want to say it to the person because I was afraid the person might think I was crazy. I was afraid they might think I was crazy, so I didn't want to say it, but it was like bubbling up inside of me, so like to where it made me so overly emotional. So I was like, okay, I got to say this. I got to get this out. And basically it was a message from her son that had been shot by the police. And she had been doing all kinds of things in order to kind of, rectify his death and all kinds of things. So she actually worked with a lot of the well-known mothers who has, children that were killed by cops. And so she would march. She was doing all kinds of things. And so I didn't know this though. I had no clue. I had no clue about this. And I just told her what he was telling me, and it just came up through me so emotionally that I couldn't stop crying. It was literally like tears, just I couldn't, and it was her too, like both of us connected. It was such a larger boom, if that makes sense. It's like we felt it so much deeper because we were like right next to each other. So all the messages kind of came through that she needed to hear. But I just was out of control emotionally. And I just couldn't, and it was her tears, my tears. It's like I swear to you, we were crying for probably like 5 to 10 minutes, like holding each other. And it was healing that needed to come through at that time. But it was something I wasn't prepared at the time to do. And so it was like spirit nudging me like, look, I told you it was coming, and again, when I say spirit, I also mean God, because this is all I feel as though preordained, pre-constructed for us to go through these moments. And so I was so on time. It was just so perfect for me to finally go into that next phase of life, to where I could finally say, okay, now let me work with numerous other people. So like I said, it was like a group of 5 of us that came to, 50. It was like at least a group of 50 people, none of them which looked like me, by the way. And they were all like on their own journeys, in different ways. And most of them were all like at least psychics, or they were all something in that spiritual realm. Most of them were honestly older, like 60s and up. I would say the chances of, I would say maybe 70% of them were probably over the age of 60 or 70 years old, going on this journey. And there was a few of us, not many of us, that were younger. Of course, I think I'm young. It was a few of us that were younger that were there, and I'm saying younger, I'm still in my 40s, by the way. But I didn't really see many people that were there in their 20s either. But nonetheless, and it wasn't, I don't want to say it had anything to do with how expensive the class was or the conference was. It wasn't that expensive, but I do want to say I was surprised that I was the only one that looked like me in the conference. And I've been bumping against that wall for a while, where majority of the spaces I go to from a spiritual aspect, most of them, they don't look like me, and they feel freer to be able to take upon this journey than me, or me at a younger age. So by me taking on this course, I was able to basically dabble into a lot of great things that help to improve my gifts. It helped me to improve myself on many levels. And now I bring that to the collective. And even during Halloween, I want to say we did something here too. We practiced some of those exercises here with my daughter, with some of the other people, some of the other feminines that we've had around us that came as well. Even my brother was here, you know, because I believe he's very insightful as well and is gifted as well. And so just to be able to bring yourself into a space where you feel comfortable to go and talk about these otherworldly things is beautiful. So I just think right now we need to make space. If you can't make space in your conscious life, definitely make space in your unconscious life to help you on your dream journey. If you're afraid to come out to your family, friends, obviously you can obviously DM me, come out the closet however you want. We could work together. I work with different women worldwide to help them on their spiritual journey. So don't feel afraid to kind of be guided towards where you really want to go. I have I have a wand. I have a crystal wand. Let me show you. I have a crystal wand, a crystal ankh that I always keep with me whenever I go to spiritual events. And I was guided towards this first through a dream and then through just simply following my guidance. Like literally, I never knew that I was going to be guided in this way, but it led me right there. I was actually thinking I wanted jewelry or something, but apparently this is what I was being guided towards. And my ankh is around here somewhere as well, but I have a crystal ankh as well. So I have both two together. And this was actually part of my like initiation from a spiritual level. At one point, I felt as though I was going to have to go to church and get ordained. And I felt like I was going to have to go through some level of learning, certificate or something like that to be ordained to do what I do, to be okay, to be considered a prophet or to be considered something acceptable in today's society in order to help others using my gifts. And I chose not to go down that path, because I felt like I was being guided innately through spirit. And that to me was all that I needed. There was a wise woman that I spoke to before I even started my business and really started coming out. And I said, well, maybe I need some type of certificate and maybe I need some kind of this and maybe I need to do this before I go out because they're not going to believe me. They're not going to understand me. And she was like, but you're doing it. You don't need approval from someone else. You don't need a degree, a certificate, a master's, another level of education, in order to do what innately comes to you, what your family has taught you, what you have learned over this lifetime. I've done past life regressions. And that's something that I really want to start offering as well soon too, because through the lucid dreaming, you can do past life regressions and again, bring forth certain gifts to this realm, to this dimension while you're here that you may not have yet. And if you're prepared for them, you ask for them, they can come here. But there may be certain things on a spiritual level that may be blocking you. Like I said, before I came out, there were a lot of things blocking me, keeping me back because of the fear and understanding that my gifts were actually a great thing. But when I went searching for assistance, in certain religious settings, things of that nature, through people that I knew about my dreams, they understood that I had dreams. They knew that I had visions. They knew that my dreams and my visions were prophetic and that came true. They eventually was like, no, we don't want to dabble in this. They didn't really want to go that extra step with me. And so I had to break free and go about it on my own. And that meant going outside of the realm of people that I knew. It meant going outside of my religious setting. It meant going outside of what I had been taught in this world since I was born and going against everything that I had been taught, everything that was ingrained in me. And my dreams assisted me on that path. I mean, because I don't even think I would have believed half of it if it wasn't for my dreams. And personally, and I want to say, actually, I told you guys one story about how I kind of got validation from a religious setting, but I also went to, and I falsely said, because I forgot about this, I actually did go to a healer. I did go to a healer in Hawaii, one that my family, a family member went to, and I went to her, and I didn't say anything about my gifts. And I was just waiting for her through the whole reading, and she didn't use cards or anything. She just was very good at what she did, and she didn't use, and it was just, she knew the internal, she knew the external, she knew about illnesses I had, she knew about so much, and it was a great time meeting her. I loved her. But what I can say was I waited through like 30, 40, 60 minutes waiting for her to say that I was gifted. And she didn't say until I walked out the door. Oh, by the way, you're gifted. You have a sixth sense. You can see these other things, this and other, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. But I tell you, I went to her for all... I went to hear that one thing, and she told me so much more. But it was amazing. But I did want to tell you, I did do that as well. So the dream, seeing her, these were all validations for me. Also, other people in my waking life that assisted me and helped me to trust and have confidence in my capability is what helped me. So I must say, dreaming is part of it. If you're able to control your dreams, if you're able to even get into a dream state and remember your dreams, you're doing something amazing. And if you can take it up a notch, then you can take it even further. So just FYI, before I leave, I did want to talk to you about one of the gift sets that we're offering this year for Christmas. It's the Lucid Dreaming gift set. So we're giving you a Lucid Dreaming tea. We're giving you the Lucid Dreaming tonic. It will come in a cute little gift set like this. Some will have this, some of them will have, we have different types of chakra teas and Lucid Dreaming teas, so they may not look exactly like this, but this is one of the chakra teas that we have that I just wanted to show you today. But we're going to have cute little baskets. They're goddess living sets that you can order to help you with your dream journey. We will also be coming back with others, so definitely just go on the website. We're going to have different chakra sets, different DIY sets, so you can make your own body products. If you're familiar with me on IGTV, FYI, I will also be moving over to Facebook soon, so definitely continue to follow us and look at where I will be each Saturday. So next Saturday, I think the first Saturday in December, I'm going to be here at the same time, but it's going to be over on Facebook. So definitely follow us over on Facebook. We're going to be on Facebook Live there, and we will be talking more about some of the different sets we have and the new additional journeys that I'm going on as we deal with Goddess Living Live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of your dreams. I just want to tell you, no matter what, you can get a dream interpretation book. You can, and I think all of these things assist you, but I want you to know that no matter what, the dream is for you and it's for your perception. Meaning, again, just the way I started off this whole Goddess Living segment today, your dream interpretation is going to be different. My dream interpretation for you may be a little different than your dream interpretation for you. There's something in your dream that's triggering you to believe something or to trust something or to let you know something is coming. For instance, I lately have been having a lot of dreams about contracts. Basically, contracts will be letting you know that you have some different things coming up, all that good stuff. But I'm personally working on certain contracts. So to see that in my dream, someone else couldn't really know that about me unless they go a little deeper and see me to my core, recognize that, okay, these contracts are in your life, maybe even a tarot reader. I do readings as well, so that may come up, but it's going to be what it means to you, like what it means to me. So contracts to me right now is a contract that I'm dealing with right now. So when I saw it in my dream 2 nights in a row, I knew it had something to do with me working on this contract. So all of that to say, if you need assistance with your interpretations, I can assist you with that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to let you know it's going to be also how you feel coming out of the dream. When you're dealing with dreams, it's about how you are feeling in the dream. If there's fear in the dreams, if you're uncovering something, if you're happy in the dream, all of these things play a part in your dream. So if you can identify first of all, from the context in which the dream has occurred, and then look at the symbols, that will help you. So look at the context of the whole dream. What is the whole dream speaking about? Like if you have all these different symbols and they can come to one context, that is the first thing that you need to try to identify, and then look at the different symbols and see how they relate to you in your life. I think it was one other thing I wanted to bring to your attention. So it was a couple things I did want to talk to you about the dreaming in the Western Hemisphere, meaning America. There was one other thing I did want to bring to your attention. Dreams used to be really utilized in a lot of people's life. A lot of rich people, all of that, would use dreams in order to find money, in order to find out what their purposes are, in order to find out truths about themselves on a psychic level. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And in the Western world, it used to be huge until I want to say the late 1800s, early 1900s. It slowed down because they claimed it was demonic and you had to be careful. And if you saw a dream of, for instance, a burning bush or a burning building or something like that, then you have brought witchcraft upon your family. They demonized it. All of that to say they demonized dreams for a long time. When Freud came back onto the picture, he kind of brought it back to light again to where people felt like it was more accepted part of life. Carl Jung, Carl Jung, he also brought it to light a little bit more as well. Edgar Cayce, if you want to look into dreaming and how he worked with dreams, definitely look into him as well. There's a Edgar Cayce whole compound kind of thing in Virginia Beach. Look into that. There's a lot of information there. A lot of his books about his predictions and all of that, that's there as well. So I would definitely look into all of that. I personally like Edgar Cayce's way of thinking. Carl Jung too. I'm not too big into Freud, but nonetheless, all these people played a role in bringing it back to more acceptable culture here in the Western Hemisphere, in America, after it was demonized by many religious settings for a while to where it was unacceptable. So now it's come back, not now, so it's come back over years. Now it's more acceptable, but now we're kind of behind the ball. If you want to learn more about your dreaming and the interpretations of it and all of that, definitely look into it. It's amazing. It's awesome, to be honest. It's really awesome. And I think personally it's been a major help in my spiritual journey myself. So I thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate you. I love you. Blessings, love, and light. Thank you so much for coming to Goddess Living. And I look forward to seeing you back here again next Saturday. And I think we're only going to be here for like 2 weeks in December, FYI, because I'm going on break like the last 2 weeks of December. Just saying. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.